I'll bring the ladder up, hang on. It is a lot easier doing this when there's two of you, I'll be honest. Right, I need me sabre spray. Now, are you clever enough to remember to bring your radio? One day, mate, you'll learn. There we go. And she's off. There we go. I'm guessing the landlord didn't tell anyone.
Well,
no, clearly not. Okay. Do us a favour, can you run back up to the top?
Yeah.
Just blow a little bit of air through the chamber.
Yeah.
Just otherwise, 2 or 3 minutes it goes off again. Yeah, like that. I normally bring a Hoover. Yeah, careful mate, you'll hyperventilate. That smoke detector not going off. Oh no, there it is. And it should just automatically reset. There we go. Yeah, this system this morning, we arrived here, there was a fault on it. It just said battery fault. In fact, I'll put a picture on the screen now. Those there were the batteries that were in it. So someone's put 2 batteries in it, completely the wrong sizes. And it just came up as a battery fault. I've taken them out and put a pair of 3.2 amp hour batteries in, which is what they should be, but I mean, this isn't the neatest system in the world. Someone's taken the cables in the side here, but of course, you've now got to try and wrap them around the batteries, which is probably why they fitted a little one. So I've fitted them in best I can, but I mean, but someone's fitted the FP200 around here, so you can't properly bolt the battery in. I'll just make a note of it on the service report and just let the landlord know that ideally we need to take those out and reroute them properly. But yeah, it's one of those things, it's not ideal, but a lot of this sort of stuff you come across very frequently on panels, people who fit them and they fit them in a rush. You know, there's a reason why there's no cutouts on the side, but there is on the top. You know, they do that for a reason. There should be a fire alarm logbook somewhere here in a box. How often do you turn up to a fire alarm service and you actually get that? I mean, it's just, well, this is a perfect example. You just don't get it, you know. There's never any literature, paperwork, nothing. You just don't get it. Callous breach of health and safety right there. It's not acceptable. It's not a Hoover, but it's, you know, it does the job. Right, we need to get into one of those, ideally we want to try and get into those flats if we can. I think we might be looking up a horse's ass there, but what's the bets we get told to go fuck ourselves? I'm guessing quite high. I hate this bit because people just get really arsey with you. Got a feeling everybody's self-isolating. So there's no smoke heads in any of the flats, it's just communal. Why didn't they just put it all on one zone then?
I know.
Can you test the cool point on the very top floor and just test them on each floor coming down just to see which? This is what you get when people, they fit systems, they don't know 100% how to do it. Yeah, so basically the top 2, it just sets the sounder off on the top floor. I mean, theoretically, I don't know why they've done that on different zones, but theoretically it shouldn't matter, because when you break a cool point, it just puts the whole system into... Yeah. I normally keep the Twin Flex book on me because it's actually really handy because it's got the codes in and stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of people that go on like, Twin Flex systems are garbage, you shouldn't fit them. You know, a lot of these boil down to, the way in which you fit them. And, a lot of the issues come with cabling. They're not wired in the correct way, and then you get faults, you get earth faults, you get loads of these on these systems if you don't fit them correctly. But these are all, these are made to such high standards, the only reason they go wrong is because people don't fit them correctly, which is the same as with most alarm systems. I don't buy into this thing of, Twin Flex is garbage. I just don't buy into it. It's the same as they're just as good as many other alarm systems. It's just people don't fit them right, and then you get faults and issues. Yeah, I don't know what someone's train of thought with that battery was.
Friday afternoon?
Yeah, 100%. It was all the batteries, that was all they had on the van, and they just fitted it.
Friday afternoon.
But, okay, you got that?
Yep.
Fab. Ooh. Where are you two at? Honestly, since she started, I'm no longer the boss. Sarah is.
The boss.
I'm just the employee that works here. It's quite nice actually. You get given your diary of stuff you've got to do in the day. I quite like it. It's nice, She's been working. Sarah's been here for about, I don't know, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. It's nice though. It's a bit stressful, but. Hand sanitizer. I'm gonna charge £1 a pump. All right. So what? Go and chill out in your van for 5 minutes.
Yep.
I'll sort out where we've got to go next.
So this sends a job through as well. Diane needs an electrician. 2-bedroom property, replace the existing electrical system. She needs it doing within a month. It's a very old property, requires electrical surface rewiring.
Not interested.
No.
That's got cheap written all over it. Yeah, if she wants it all in surface, she wants it on the cheap, and for the hassle of doing a surface rewire for £2,000, she can fuck off and not do it. It's just more hassle than it's worth, you know. It's I'm going to anti-back myself, and I'll touch base in a bit.
Don't give me too much information, Tom. I can't cope.
Right, day 2 of forced isolation. I'm off to the bank. I've got to go and bank a check-in, which I feel is essential because I need to keep money coming in. Because if that doesn't happen, my business collapses. So I have to go and bank this in. To be fair, it's rare you actually get people paying with check. You don't get it that much, but I've got 1 or 2 people who that's all they pay by. They don't pay by any other means, which is fair enough. But this is actually going into I've got 2 business bank accounts, and one of them I can bank the check-in using my phone. The other one I can't for some, I don't know why. So I'm off to go and do this now, and I shall update you in a second. While I'm driving to the bank, I will show you how utterly ridiculous this lockdown is, because nobody here is listening to it. It makes my piss boil. Right, we've got a natural remedy store still open just here. I mean, I suppose you could just about accept that. We've got a flower shop here still open. The fuck is a flower shop still doing open? Just look at all these people. What happened to don't go out? All these stores are still open. Mobile phone shops, look, it's just... I've taken 3 weeks off work. I don't want to, but I've got to, because this whole thing, if people stop moving, it's not the virus spreads, it's people make it spread. So if people just stop moving, the virus stops moving, the virus dies, the problem goes away. But no one's no one's stopping it. I don't know. I mean, you've just seen it. It's like it's a normal high street. No one cares. I don't know. I mean, I would say that this is a pretty essential thing to do to keep my business running. But half these people, I think, are just out going for a wander. They're just, you know, I'm completely lost, you know. Okay, I've just attended a call out. A customer reported that they had an alarm company in, and they were getting shocks off the bell box and on the metal frame of the power supply unit for the alarm system. So I've come out and had a look, and this is a classic example of I think half the situation that we're in, you know, this industry is in. Took the fuse spur off the alarm box earlier, and I was getting voltage between neutral to earth. So I thought, okay, so I came here, took the cover off, and this is what I've been presented with. So ignoring the gap there, which you can stick your finger in, okay, ignoring that, down here is the earth block, okay? So the water and gas is all earth down here. Now I've just put this earth in, okay, but that earth wasn't there. Looks like I've just come back this morning just to properly sort this out, because this was just a temporary job I did last night. But this 10 mil earth wasn't here, and there's no other earthing up here. So basically, what's happened is, whoever's fitted this at some point, they've dragged the meter tails in. Fine, that goes off somewhere else. It doesn't go into the board. But these meter tails go in. So you've got power in here, but they didn't hook up the main earth. So you've got the earth down there, but nobody at any point thought to run in the main earth to connect the board down to the MET. So you sort of ended up with I think I was getting about 100 volts off live to earth, and then neutral to earth about the same as well. But what I did notice, which was even more worrying, is had new circuits fitted recently. Someone's come in and they fitted all these new extra circuits. You know, someone's been in and, you know, they've that they've added into this. I mean, to me, this is just a classic example of it's just dough. It's all about the money. No one gives a fuck. You know, someone's just come in super quick, bish bash bosh, hopped in his van and then disappeared at the end of the day. You know, that to me is the problem that we're facing nowadays. I know not everybody agrees with the way I look at everything, which is fine, but this is a classic example. But the point is, somebody's boshed all of that in, and at no point did it occur to anybody to check that there was a main earth fitted. They've just fitted that, hopped in his van, and then just driven off, and no one at any point has checked, does it even have a main earth? No one's checked. Which pretty much means you can guarantee, well, in fact you can guarantee, no one tested anything, you know, it's just been fitted, he's hopped in his van and driven off. You know, that test meter, if you even had one, well, it didn't come out on site, that stayed firmly in the back of the van, you know. That's the issues we're facing nowadays. It's not, there's no accountability. No one cares. You just do a shit job, then you get in your van and drive off. And is there any comeuppance? No.